welcome to the final Radio Infinity Speaks. I guess this is, the Radio Infinity Speaks has always been off the cuff. It's whatever comes to mind I say in the conversation. And it's, rarely edited. So let's get started with the final one. I wrote down a couple of questions that I'm going to ask myself and then try to answer as best as I can from memory and the reasons for why it's the final edition. So the first question and the main question really is why is the station closing? That's news. I guess it's big news for the channel. The mix at Radio Infinity will now be closing, and I won't be doing any more live music. I started the radio station, I don't know, a year and a half ago, early 2020, maybe before that. It was used for, sharing my music library, my vinyl. Started out with the vinyl music, sharing that with people. And I did start out with I did start playing music on my other channel, Chicago Infinity, which I'm working on more now, at least trying to. But it started over there and running the risk of getting copyright striked. I decided to start up a second channel, which became Radio Infinity back then. And, that's the reason why I started this channel, was to save the other channel. But, this channel, I started playing music and initially vinyl music, then it sort of morphed into cassette tapes as well. But I started playing those during the pandemic because everyone was on lockdown and it was just a rough time for everyone, including myself. I'm not excluded from there. Mentally, a lot of cabin fever, a lot of needing some kind of, human contact. And by that, I guess I meant chatting. It was difficult working from home and not seeing people for the most part because we were all afraid and scared of what could happen, the possibilities of what could happen, and that's why I just decided to create this channel. For that was using music as a tool to get out there and talk with people about music who love music as well. And Radio Infinity, started with Chicago, and Chicago was the main catalyst for starting this channel. I don't remember what album I started playing, but I had to move playing Chicago albums from Chicago Infinity to Radio Infinity, and that's how the channel started. I know I'm jumping back and forth with my thoughts here, so I apologize for that. But I'm just giving you a quick history here. So the channel started with Chicago. I don't know, 6 or 7. I can't remember which one it started on here on this channel because I had to move from Chicago Infinity to here just to protect my other channel. But it's just a matter of started there, and once I went through the whole Chicago library, because I have I don't know how many, 25, 30, actually 20 to 25. I take that back. It's a little bit smaller estimation of how many Chicago albums I have, but it's around that much, about 25 or so. But once I finished there, it's like, well, what do I do with the channel now that I finished with the Chicago albums? So I decided to. I'm looking at the floor here with three large bins of vinyl records just filled to the top, and it's like, well, why not just start playing a mix of what I have, and make it somewhat of a surprise. I did come out with short preview videos, but just make it something different every single time, and maybe that progressed to maybe have a month of music that was um, a theme. One was Soul Month. The other one was like British Invasion month. So there were different themes, and using those themes, I brought out different albums, and then of course, that was towards the end, but towards the beginning, it was bringing out like the classic, classic rock hits, the most requested, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, um, a little bit of Ozzy Osbourne, stuff like that, or was it Black Sabbath? I think I played down or tried to play it, but you know, that's how the channel started. So, coming back to the main question, why is the station closing? Now that you know that it's closing, I'll tell you why. Now that I guess it's sort of safe to say that the pandemic is sort of, you know, winding down or slowing down in regards to transmission and people getting more and more sick. Um, I decided to try to go out and meet people and go to sporting events and go to different concerts, definitely concerts, and still wearing the double mask and that, but not the gloves and not everything else. But still trying to be safe, but still going out there. I am uh, triple vaccinated, right? First dose, second dose, and then the booster, but still trying to play it as safe as possible. So, with that reason in mind, and me sort of getting tired of having to schedule a Monday, which I started Mix Mondays and then Frankie Fridays, which I loved playing, but it was just a lot of work. And coming home from like long days of work and trying to get everything set up, it was just tiring on me. I just got tired of doing it, to be honest. And that was probably the main reason. The other reason was trying to go out and enjoy, events in town, concerts, sporting events, stuff like that. And sometimes they would be on a Monday, sometimes they on the weekend. They're on the weekend, so I would have to cancel or push back, you know, Frankie Fridays, or you know, uh, the Fridays when I did do the mix Mondays, when they're on Fridays, I had to cancel or push those back. So that sort of explains why I'm closing the channel. Um, I guess question number two: any fun, memorable moments? There have been a lot of fun and memorable moments for sure throughout the year and a half, close to 2 years, and I just had fun playing, cassette tapes and vinyl records and even the 45s. You know, playing the small 45s, just a one song on side A, or rarely side B, but most of the time side A. Hit songs. That was fun. The two times I did it twice. Revive the 45s, part one and part two. That was really fun to do. It made me feel like I was a DJ back in the day, 70s and 80s, when you had to put vinyl on turntables and make sure that they're ready to go, and giving you all like a little background of the song and of the group and when it came out and stuff like that. That made it fun. I mean, going back to the very first picture of Radio Infinity, um, when it shows me trying to be a DJ, that's sort of like another reason why I started Radio Infinity, because it felt like in my mind, which is it's you know juvenile, but it was sort of fun to think that maybe I was like a DJ, playing old school songs for you on vinyl records and stuff like that. But yeah, the 45s were fun because I had to. That was more work than ever, but picking 10 45s writing a little, write up blurb about each song, and having them all in order and switching and giving you information while I switch and stuff like that. It was a lot of work, but it was satisfying and fun. That was probably the most fun I had was doing that, even though it was a lot of work. Um, you know, Also working with technology and trying to improve it over the year and a half, and playing cassette tapes and playing vinyl records. Starting off, playing the vinyl records, I didn't have the capability of having it direct into my computer. I had to have the computer sitting in front of the surround sound and have it blasting into the computer or laptop microphone, and that's how it started. And then it just progressed and improved with a direct USB connection from the turntable to the laptop, and that's how it went. And the cassette too. The cassette, it started out with blaring into the having the surround sound blare into the laptop microphone, but then I found a USB cable that would make it sound a lot better, just having it directly into the laptop, and using software and stuff like that. So free software, but nonetheless using the software to make the live streams more presentable and I guess professional too, kind of looking. But yeah, so that would be my fun, memorable moment. It was being here and doing this, starting Fridays, and sometimes doing 2 days a week. When we had double albums, we had to switch from trying to do both of them in one day to Thursday Fridays, or Wednesday Thursday Fridays, or Thursday Friday Saturdays. Depending on the number of albums, and depending on the number of vinyl records in one of the albums. It was work. It was work. It was fun at the beginning, then it became work, and it was just time to close up shop. I just want to say, thank you to everyone. The two main people, I know there were people that dropped by over the years, and I wish I could remember your YouTube usernames, but I can't. But there were two that were, always, the one that was always here, and then two that the second person was here a lot towards the end. But I want to thank the United States Marine Corps veteran out in West Virginia, and Music Hub in New York State. Thank you for coming out. You two specifically, I'm calling you both out specifically because you were there in the chat, and you were in the chat, and you were communicating, I guess would be the word I'm looking for the most during the live stream. So I want to thank you both for that. I want to thank everyone who subscribed as well, and the listeners who came back and listened to the live streams, but didn't say anything. I guess there were some people that were there that did that, and there were also some people who might have listened after the fact, before YouTube would take them down. So I want to thank you all for that too. But what else can I say? I hope you enjoyed your time here, and like at the end of every live stream, I would always say, take care, stay safe, and look out for each other. This is The Mix at Radio Infinity, signing off.